Oh, good morning. Oh, wow. Supposed to be taking my dog for a walk right now. Let me see. 10 minutes. I'll do this quick video. Now, folks, what has disturbed me lately is I was watching something on news and somebody flipped out again. Another person flips out, right? And isn't it strange that when people have these emotional breakdowns, or they hear voices, or they hear something, or they do drugs and flip out, why is it they always hear the exact same thing? And I'm serious. Now you have to think, what would be the reasons for same people? Put it like this: if 60 people have the same delusion, what would be a logical reason for people to have the same delusions, have the same thoughts, have the same hear the same voices, to hear the same ringing in their ears, the high pitched sounds? What are the reasons for this? And what is the number one logical reason? When people flip out on bath salts and they hear voices, when people break down and have psychotic events, and then they're diagnosed with some weird psychosis. So, what is the common denominator? They all seem to appear to be hearing the same voices. Oh, this crazy voice. There's someone sounding like they're screaming in my head, or ooh, I hear the devil, or ooh, these voices are telling me to kill. Ooh, the same fucking voices. Excuse my language. What would be a logical explanation for that? Now think about it. And when you look at the situation, you say to yourself, what is a logical explanation for these people committing the exact same crimes, doing the exact same manners? White people, black people, Asians, Mexicans, Arabs, the same shit is all over the world. When they flip out, when they trip out, and they, oh, I hear voices. This person, the devil, this told me to do it. All these crazy ass shit these people, excuse my language, this crazy stuff these people say. What is the most common, what is the logical explanation for it? And what I'm about to say is going to flip people out because it's not going to make sense to you. But some people who think and who can tune things in like regular people do, they will understand that, yeah, that could be true. You know what's the most common denominator? People, they have technology around them. Most of these people are in cities. The ones that flip out rurally, I don't know, it might just be genetics, but I'm trying to get to a point here. Now this is, think about it. I want you to think real hard about what I'm saying. If there are subliminal messages, to keep us raged and mad and pumped up and everything, it would be a common theme for people who break down from these messages to have the exact same psychoses. Wouldn't that be more logical than to say they see the devil, or they're hearing thoughts, or they're just these voices? Because I have it's like a ringing in my ears. And then when I think back, I remember when I was a little kid and we had hearing tests, and they had to play these different frequencies. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Do you hear that? Maybe they were tuning us up then as kids. I don't know if they do these kids like that now. But we had the big old headsets on, and they got cards in front of us. What's on the card? Can you hear the sound? That's how you train a mind. That's how you program somebody. We went through this. I remember going through these tests in school. Hillcrest Elementary School, Rodeo, California, which no longer exists. They dug the whole damn thing up. It's not there anymore. So you have these people flipping out. Oh, I heard voices, so I decided to put my kids in the microwave. When did you hear these voices? What was you doing when you heard these voices? Did you have this weird high-pitched sound in your back of your head? What happens when you have a ringing in your ears and then you, oh, I hear the devil? Understand people. I was just checking it out, and I was watching all these people flipping out on this one drug, but they all heard the same thing. What is a logical explanation for people hearing the same thing? Your mind and your brain is set to certain different frequencies. When you do drugs and all that, and you alter the frequencies of your brain, you could be picking up some crap from the TV. And way back in the days when I was growing up, people was complaining about hearing the radio and their teeth and their dental work. And these kids nowadays don't hear nothing of stuff like this. What if, by some chance, they learned how to tune people? Think about it. And they keep us mad and at odds with each other because that way we're focusing on survival and not focusing on the big picture. Upheaval. So, you have these kids flipping out on bath salts and wanting to eat people's faces off. Now, that makes no sense to me at all unless there's somebody like, oh wow, and then I've thought about it, it's like all these video games and everything, there's zombies everywhere. It's real easy to get a bunch of people flipped out thinking they got to eat people's faces and stuff when they flip out on drugs. Think about it. People have been tuned. And you've been tubed. I gotta go walk my dog, man. I'm 5 minutes late, man, messing with y'all. But think about it. Doesn't that make sense? If they can send subliminal messages through everything and they're constantly bombarding us with hate each other, be evil to each other, you better go consume something. Worry about that guy. That guy's going to get you. Consume something. She's beautiful. You can't have none. Get a blue pill. Consume something. They keep us constantly trained and unfocused and hit us with all this stuff. And half of the stuff we probably can't see. And the only thing that can probably see the evil coming at us is a twisted mind. Twisted from the prescriptions they give us. The creams they tell us to put on our boo-boos and hurts. And all this stuff that seeps into our systems. All these chemicals and everything that we place upon our bodies. All these frequencies that pop off the electronics and the batteries and the cordless and the Wi-Fi's. We are, oh wow, I keep on forgetting to say this word. I keep missing the word every time. We are, our bodies, they create electricity. We're like a jellyfish here with brains that can compute. Come on, man. If they can hack stuff like this, it makes you think they couldn't. You ain't got no metal plates in there to block that stuff. And then when these people start doing drugs, their brain just deteriorates and frequencies of the mind just expand and they pick up all this stuff and they can't handle it and they flip out and start eating people, shooting people, killing people. Thing is, man, if they want to create a chaos, all they have to do is tell the truth. Chaos has been created. And if you can think of it, it might be real. And if you can conceive it, it might be true. So what's to say that these hallucinations that these people are having and these thoughts and everything aren't things piped into our heads to keep us at odds with each other? And in a sick, warped mind, they break and boil over. And those people do crazy things. So that's why mental illness is the #1 problem we have in our country. It ain't drugs. It ain't violence. It ain't guns. It's those who control the minds of those who have the power to obtain the guns. It's the subliminals from the games, from the movies, and from the reality that we live in. And that's all it is. It's the everyday stress of being a human being in a controlled world. But there are some controls that are needed. People need not run rap-shot across this country blowing up and killing each other and destroying each other because they can't cope with the stuff that they're being fed. People have died in this country to make this country what this country is. And those who twist it with their own personal perversions of what humanity should be like, those are the ones who will pay in the end when the meek do inherit this earth, or what's left of it. So see you fools later, and make sure that when you hear all this crazy shit in your head, go out and jump in front of the train. Ah! Don't do it. Thank you. And have a good night. Crazy ass people taking each other out. Stupid.